The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to 5 in 15, a webinar series from Charleston, Norway, where we promise to give you 5 interesting, maybe even mildly intriguing tips that you can use in your business, all within the constraints of a 15-minute webinar, because we know you are busy. I'm Mark Gale, CEO of Charleston, Norway. You can reach me at mark.g@charlestonnorway.com if you want to take something offline or ask me a question. We are strategic marketers and communicators, a 100% employee-owned ESOP. So everybody here has a vested stake in doing well for our clients, because when they do well, we do well. On to our topic. We're going to talk about some things related to digital marketing today, and use that chat pane to send us your questions, because the first 2 are going to get this awesome book from our friend and colleague Ed Stowe, really smart guy on UX, and there's a ton of stuff in that book I guarantee you can use in your work. And if, by the way, we don't get to those questions online here, we're going to send this information to you so you'll have access to it. We will share the information, but will, as always, promise not to bug you. So what are we going to talk about today? Personas, not just these warm and fuzzy personality profiles. User journeys. Yeah, where people are going, but where we want them to go. Digital analytics. Come on, admit it. You don't use them the way you should. We're going to help you with that. Email. What? We hate email. Got it. But yes, we still use it. All of you used email today, didn't you? Dedicated brain power. People still make the digital world run, believe it or not. Personas. You know, see that nice, friendly-looking woman there? Personas used to be all about her personality profile. She got up, she went to the gym, then she had breakfast, blah, blah, blah. We need to take it beyond that. That's old school. As Ed Stowe would say, human-shaped containers of data. Yeah, we can do better than that. We not only want to know a lot about that person, certainly, but in terms of her breakfast, where did she buy it? Why did she like it? What contributes to her decision? And especially what she does online. That needs to be part of the persona. Now, overlay that with apathy. Frankly, when she's not thinking about granola because she's hungry, she doesn't care about your product. We wish everybody did care about our product, but they don't. So we have to go to them, not expect them to come to us. Are your personas historical? That's the way people have been. Aspirational. We want to serve this new trend. Functional foods, maybe. We want to appeal to that person that way. But when we get to aspirational, make sure that we don't get too far out ahead of trends. And finally, we can slice and dice. Realize a millennial is not a millennial is not a millennial. For example, because a millennial could be 32 years old, art director in the gig economy, single. You could have a millennial married 7 years, 3 kids, same age. Not the same person. Not the same motivations. Acknowledge that. Reality check, especially related to aspirational. Does such a person exist, or do you just want them to exist? We're still dealing, moving perceptions with real people, selling to real people. Some great resources, HubSpot, one we use, and Ed's book, buy it on Amazon. I don't get a cut. I just think it's good. I think you will too, and it's easy reading, good storyteller. User journey maps. Yeah, everybody is talking about user journey maps. Is anybody using them? Is anybody practicing them? Yeah, not much, not as much as you think. It's the intersection of what people are doing overlaid with what we want them to do. Download, read, be entertained, buy, whatever it might be. It's driven by their motivation. They are using their phone to entertain, shop, learn, whatever it might be. In order to do that, they had to go online, look at their phone, click subscribe, return, buy, whatever that was. We're charting this in the user journey. And when they do something that causes them to get one step closer to our ultimate goal, that is a conversion. Conversion's so important because conversions lead us to the ultimate goal, and they give us the data. If someone's going through 3 conversion states and then drops off, why did that happen? How can we fix it? We can test to see if we can fix that. Ultimately, we are aligning with the personas of our stakeholders versus old school, expecting them to align with us. Some resources here, again, we'll send those out to you. Just want to know that they're going to be available to you, and we'll put the links embedded in here so it's very easy for you to read up and use some of these resources if you want. Analytics. It's a vast wasteland. Frankly, 6-7 years ago, we were sending these reams of data to clients about what was happening online. They weren't reading them because nobody quite knew what to do with it. Well, those days are gone. We can do much better because data is not the problem. 66% of people digital spending, and by this is ticking up. There should be a ticker on there. It should be go 66.02, 03, 04. It's going up. Google search, YouTube, really Google, right? Facebook, Instagram, really Facebook, right? A ton of data rests with them. Yeah, we also know some of the problems that rest with that. Now, overlay CRM platforms, they are becoming more powerful with their own data sets and integrating with digital spend and programmatic. So to combine together, yeah, there's plenty of information. We don't need more information. The question is, what are we going to do with it? Analysis is needed. That analysis is looking at the persona, tracking the journey map. Did they do what we wanted them to do? If, for instance, bounce rate, oh my gosh, you've got a high bounce rate on that page. Well, if all we wanted them to do was go there and get a code to put in a coupon, maybe that's okay because they got it and they're bouncing and good for them. So the point being that this is not just an automated process. Automated gathering, but then judgment as to what the numbers mean. You can draw conclusions on that by looking at, and this gets granular, the person, the journey map, the objective, the conversion gates that they went through. Did they do it or not? And then these analytics will help us test, improve, dump that data into the beginning and improve our programs and the effectiveness going around and around, because people are changing, products are changing, markets are changing, fads and interests are changing. So we have to ever keep up with that. Capture only the data that you will use, because you don't want to waste time on things that you're never going to do anything with. Instead, capture the important points and spend your time doing something about them. Resources, including one from 2013 that we're going to send you if you want to do a deeper dive on this. Email. Yeah, we love it. We hate it. It's out there. We all opened it today. Here too, 91% of the people with email addresses open email every day. Certainly in business and vibrant organizations, we're all opening our email every day. There hasn't been yet a better solution. Harvard Business Review says, and this is just recent, that, well, actually January, really recent, 28% of business people in organizations, nonprofits, for-profits, spend 28% of their time on email. So it's a powerful tool. It's getting out there to people. Can we get in on it? Well, here's a reason not to ignore it. Facebook, Amazon, YouTube, we know some of the challenges. We've seen how they can overnight change their algorithm. So us being able to reach our audience all of a sudden is at the whim of these companies. Well, yeah, we're still going to be there, but it can't be our only place to be because they can change it overnight. They can obsolete us immediately. Well, they're not going to do that because they make a lot of money, but they might make it harder, or they might incentivize somebody else. Good news here, Microsoft and Google, I use both platforms for email, are getting better and better at sorting. I'm not getting rid of all the informational or promotional things. I'm getting rid of the ones that are not useful to me. You're probably using those tools embedded in these platforms to do the same thing. I'm still letting through things that are promotional, that work on my learning, my perception, my whatever, but it has to be useful to me. Here's where some of the CRM platforms, HubSpot, Salesforce, Marketo, can really be helpful. They are expert at saying, ooh, opened, clicked, forwarded, how much time they spent, what was their journey online after that, what was their journey connecting on your digital platforms after that, your presence. Really great stuff. Most people open email every day. The critical thing is sending it to them where they're doing that. I use my Gmail for certain personal things. I use my business mail for business things. And having the right content that shows up in that subject line and in the preview pane, whether that's an entire pane in Outlook or a line in Google, that's going to pull me in to your information. Probably not spending enough time on that. Make sure your content is worth opening. All of this runs, and some of you have heard me say this in other digital discussions, it still comes down to people, dedicated brain power. So you need to have a champion. I don't mean a champion in the sense of a cheerleader, a person with dedicated time and effort to be able to do this. They need expertise and desire to do it. Don't just assign it to somebody who doesn't want it or doesn't have the aptitude. Part of their job description. So at review, so first of all, you are carving away time for them to spend on your digital success. And two, part of their job description. So they are incentivized and their performance review to do something about it. They need to have a sales mindset. I can tell you when we send something out, when we send it for a client, I love just like end of the day, it's quiet, nobody's around anymore, going online and see, oh my gosh, they opened, they clicked, they did whatever, they went to the website. If you don't have that mindset of liking that excitement from conversions, wrong person. And remember, it's a people person because you have to connect all these different platforms, connect people within your organization. That needs to be a good people person. Digital seems easier than paper, but because of the fragmentation, it's actually more difficult. So don't underplay the need for people. Personas, user journeys, digital analytics, email, importance, dedicated brain power. That's the content part. We're going to send this to you. Now let's get to some of your questions. First one here, staffing. Wow, this came in right away. Why is digital harder? As I said, because of the complexity of the platforms, it's complicated to analyze the data, and it takes a lot more effort and energy than people anticipate, and a lot more time. You mentioned CRM, another question. Do you have, and this person's getting a book, do you have any recommendations specifically? Have you used Infusionsoft? I have not. There are a lot of good platforms. Actually, if I can send you a link to marketing automation webcast that'll give you some tips on how to choose a good platform for you. What's most important about your platform, by the way, is the strategic drivers, not necessarily the digital platform. Oh, the platform can make your life easier. For agricultural products, this person's also getting a book. To reach farmers with messaging, targeted websites are programmatic better, or a combination of both. A combination of both. When I said digital is harder than paper, you need programmatic, you need Google AdWords, you may need Facebook or LinkedIn, by the way. Yeah, I know LinkedIn is more expensive, but it can be more effective. You probably need email. You need an integrated campaign to do this well. Personas. isn't a persona all about emotional triggers? Well, yeah, but you got to realize that I'm not saying forget about the personality. I'm saying, yes, there's the personality, but what does that person need, want, desire? What is their digital life like? And if we're charting them well, are they converting? Are they taking the steps? Okay, I wanted them to open this email. I wanted them to click. I wanted them to go to this website. The steps that I want them to take to get them to my ultimate goal. It could be to buy my product, to download my white paper, to sign up for my webinar, to remind to visit me at the trade show, because this touches the offline world as well. So personas are about emotional triggers, and I would say we have to stop because we're running out of time, and I want to be respectful of your time. I'm going to send you, we have way more questions. I'm going to send you the answers to them. Remember, this is all about us serving our stakeholders. Our goal is to build our programs around them, not to expect them to cluster around us. We need to be useful and purposeful with that. That's all the time we have now. Thank you so much for joining us in 5 and 15. Thank you so much for sending us questions. Until now, I'm Mark Gale. This has been 5 and 15. We're strategic marketers and communicators. If you want to chat more, mark.g@charlestonnorwig.com. And with that, apologize for going 90 seconds long. We'll see you next time for 5 and 15.